Hey everyone, welcome back to Crypto Cash. Thank you so much for joining me here. I hope you're having a phenomenal day. Let's take a quick look here at SUI, see what's going on. We got a nice aggressive candle wick up here at about 282. If I recall correctly, that 280 range is somewhat of a resistance. So we're going to look at that, kind of reaffirm support and resistance levels based on local structure, but also previous data, and help understand best practice in situations like this when prices of coins continue to run. You basically adjust your stop loss higher to ensure you secure profit without getting super greedy, because this market isn't like a greedy, well, it's a greedy market. That's why people get destroyed, actually. So it's important not to be greedy because of that. Keep in mind, too, this is likely a fundamental catalyst. There is a coin that was recently, ICO'd out on this same blockchain, Walrus, WAL. It's pretty significant number here on, coin market cap as far as its market dominance. So just know that is something that was highly anticipated, likely the reason why we saw the price shoot up here recently. So keep in mind, scenarios like this do lead to pumps and dumps at some point. So I wouldn't be surprised if we see the price retrace at a certain level, likely a key level resistance. So hopefully we can identify that today. Liquidation, we can see 282 to 290 locally here. Also as well, that must have been where I think I had my mindset about 280, because there's a chunk of liquidation, pretty big number there that got hit. There are some late shorts, but also some previous shorts still around 290. So I would say 290 is probably a best case scenario for this initial run before we see capitulation and or consolidation before it continues higher. We do have liquidation delta super high for the moment, so just keep in mind, you get too high too fast, that can essentially lead to a reversal. But right now, most people are taking longs with this coin, and with good reason. There's a lot of pretty significant fundamental catalyst. We can see 250, 262, and locally here 277, 270.4. Either way, it's not super relevant, but the key takeaway here is we have a lot of open interest below the price action and currently with the price. That does reaffirm support in a lot of ways because people are buying a lot of this coin here recently. Daily time frame, this is one of the few coins that is actually testing its 50-day SMA, broke free from its 20-day SMA. The descending trend line is essentially broken. We can also see here that we're over 50 in the RSI. These are all signs you don't generally want to short into. It's not to say you couldn't find some benefit to short briefly, because I do personally feel Bitcoin's going to continue to pull back to fill its CME gap, which, by the way, is in the it's in the low 84K range, roughly 84.4. And there's also a power of three structure, but a type of descending wedge pattern and or bullish flag pattern. There's a lot of confliction going on with Bitcoin, but the thing that isn't conflicting is manipulation, and that's a pretty consistent thing for it. And it's giving us some signs that it's soon to be that. It's a manipulated coin. What do you know? Anyways, this coin is too sometimes, but for right now, it's a positive manipulation where the price is going up concurrent with the that drop of that new coin, and that does factor in favorably here for the moment. Just know when that tide shifts, it'll probably be a pretty swift shift in momentum. We can see a moving average percentile here, a bit of an overextension, about 276. So that usually implies reversals are coming here in the relative near future. Let's look and see if we can see any local areas of resistance. So if we take a look here, we can see some massive order blocks at 292, and then concurrent as well with that guy right at about 318. So we got a couple of areas of resistance / confluence above the price action, which would be areas of interest for either A, shorting, or B, securing profit. So I'm going to set an alert here in the low 290 range, maybe just make it 290 even, just because I want to kind of see if we cross that level, that threshold, we get a rejection there. Generally, local highs are going to work as new lows if it's passed, but it'll work as an initial rejection point first. So we're going to see some resistance likely in the 280 to 290 range. 290 makes the most sense based on the simple fact that we got a tremendous amount of liquidation right in that little pocket. Once that's all said and done, $3 is that psychological resistance. Between 290 and 3 will be that resistance range. So leaning towards that for the moment. Now I'm going to just set a limit order with a high leverage short position right now in the blind. Totally not. You should never do that yourself. It's just a dumb thing to do, considering how hard and fast this not just this coin moves, but how crazy and ridiculous the market is right now. So all that being said, if the price does continue to pull back, hypothetically 250, locally here 262, these are areas of retracement that are consistent with local highs. So in this case here, we can see the local high 262 and the previous high of 249, roughly 250. So this would be a sweet place to consider getting into a trade if the price were to pull back. Okay, that's roughly what I'm looking at. So that's kind of where we're at there, either short from 290 or potentially a long from 250. Whichever one happens first is kind of something I'll be leaning more towards. But for now, we got to wait until that happens to see what occurs. So no trade is the best trade. Get used to telling yourself that. We should literally be looking for reasons not to trade when we analyze these charts, not for reasons to convince yourself to take a trade. That's the opposite approach that almost always gets you in trouble. Either way, what doesn't get you in trouble is an awesome exchange. Go ahead and check us out, cryptocash.tech as well. I've got Trading Academy community and Signals group. We've taken some nice profits here recently. With what SUI, what do you know? Actually, hold on, I forgot to look at this here. 65% on a trade we took roughly 10 days ago to the upside with this coin. So it's definitely a profitable coin, folks, but I think we're coming to an impasse here in the relative near future. Okay, cool. Thanks so much for watching. Have a great rest of the day. We'll see you in the next one. Take care.